All right, every blessing, every free thing, every discount, every bargain, every gift, every kind gesture is like you receiving from the world, what you believe about yourself, the universe, however you want to describe that feeling. So I just came from Starbucks and I said I wanted the tomato mozzarella sandwich. And so I paid, it was $7. And then, but I also said I wanted the pumpkin pepita loaf. And he kind of misunderstood me. So he came back later and he was like, wait, you did say you wanted the loaf, but I don't think he charged me for it. It would have been more than that. And so I take that as like, thank you. Like, thank you. Every little bit saved, every little bit received, every little bit gifted, even by mistake. It is mine because I believe that I am always in abundance. I believe that I am deserving. I believe that I get lucky like that, and that's just what flows to me. That's just all part of my experience. I didn't come here to struggle. I didn't come here to always be in turmoil and upheaval and confusion and lack and dis-ease and to test my faith or make me stronger in some way. That's not how that has to come. Have I been through things? Absolutely. But I also am now able to look back at my experiences as lesson learned, not mistakes. And I use these words interchangeably, but I don't look at them as mistakes anymore because I've changed my understanding of what I created in the situation at hand. So, I'm like, what can I take from this? When I chose the wrong dudes, when I jumped out here and did things willy-nilly, when I didn't choose myself, when I didn't love myself, when I didn't respect myself, when I didn't honor myself, when I didn't keep the promises to myself, what can I pull from that? And what's going to make it so that I don't do it again? How can I teach my daughters? How can I help, share my experiences because there's a lesson there so that maybe if someone else hears me talk on it, they'll have the same, like, okay, I can avoid all that. And I'm thankful that looking back, the things that I have learned from other people that have been in other situations that I don't know anything about, I too can move so that I don't make those mistakes. So we're all still helping each other in this experience. The sharing helps. The new perspective helps. And we don't have to agree on everything. I'm very careful on this platform to say, like, all right, you can be religious, you can be spiritual, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be Muslim, you can practice Ifa, you can, look at the moon for your wisdom and your guidance, or your spirit animals. You can call yourself a voodoo or voodoo priestess. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, all of that really means nothing if you haven't learned to love yourself, because you got here somehow, you are blessed with this life somehow, and for you to not harness that and to live in that and relish in that is a problem. It doesn't matter. So for all the prayer, and I think I'm looking at a drone. That's pretty neat over the highway. Wow. Yep, that's a drone. Thing look like a spider in the sky. But anyway, for you to not live by that alone, it's a problem. And I'm going to use Christianity, for example, because that is my background and my understanding of certain things. I have seen beautiful Christians struggle 5 years into the game, 10 years into the game, 15, 20 years into their walk with Christ, their walk in their religion and their practices and all the things that they say they believe, and struggle with the basic stuff of self-acceptance, trusting themselves, loving themselves, honoring themselves, living in a way that, like, I thought you believed that through Jesus Christ and all the sacrifices and all the glory, that there is no fear, there is no worry, there is nothing that cannot be overcome, and yet you still are, struggling with these basic concepts. you know, and it used to baffle me. So I'm like, is it you, or is it what you say you believe in? Or do you even understand what you believe in? Or even, you know, and it's not for me to judge. These are just questions that I used to throw out there, not to them in person, but kind of like, well, then what is the point? What is the point? I've seen more of a confident, empowered, living life to the fullest, no care in the world, you know, knowing that everything is as it should be and everything is always working out, from someone who considers themselves a secular witch. How can that be? Because of what she chooses to tell herself, and how she chooses to live, and what she chooses to believe, no matter where the power source comes from. That's my point. You've got to work on this. It's not through your husband. It's not just through your rituals and your spiritual walk or your religious walk. It's not just through the things that you have around you, like the physical things that you have earned and worked for. It's not just through your career or your degree that validates you, that give you a sense of like, I am enough. It can't just be based on those things. It can't even be based on whether you have children or not. And children, yes, through children is another level of love and fulfillment. But if you don't have that, you still need to be able to draw from yourself. What does that look like for you? You know, you may not be a millionaire. You may not even make $100,000 a year. You may not even come close to that. You might make half of that. But when you believe that everything is for you and everything is always working out, and that you are lucky, and that you get opportunities, and that things come to you and flow to you, and things are always for your best interest, you can't top that. Money can't even buy that. So it's the little things. That's why I made this video, because it's like, I got my Starbucks, and that's what I wanted in this moment. Now later I can say I want a yacht. Now that's a whole nother process, but a mental and things coming into, you know, like, what does that look like? But at the end of the day, if I can do this, if I can call this into my life, then I feel unstoppable. I feel like, yeah, it's the little things that add up to the big things. You got to boil it down. What does it take? And I saw the funniest video, and it was meant to be a jab and a joke. But the guy was like, what is the percentage of men do you think that own yachts? And the females, the women on there were like, 9, 12. They were just throwing out numbers. And I'm like, we got to scale it back to what percentage is he talking about? Is he talking about in this particular area, in this particular demographic, or in the whole world? What do you got to scale it back. But I ain't mad at them for throwing out numbers, because anything is possible. And if you go down to the National Harbor right now and you see all them parked yachts, they're owned by somebody, and them owners is walking around amongst us. You know what I mean? And I bet you 90% of them are men, because that's kind of a man thing. No slight to women that love to sail, but look, a lot of women get their stuff through their husbands or significant others, and she get all the benefits. She don't have to be a sailor. She don't have to be rich. She don't have to do anything to experience that yacht life. I ain't mad at her. Go ahead, baby. Get your yacht on. But it's not that it's unattainable and it's just so far out big thing. You can rent a yacht. You can lease a yacht. You can buy a yacht for the day. You can have you know what I mean? Like, there's what kind of, you gotta be specific, and you gotta know that anything is possible. And it might not happen tomorrow. We're not being delusional, but you can plan for it. You can dream about it. You can say, okay, when I get to this point, because I know I can, then that's going to open doors to allow me to have that yacht life, that yacht experience. And then if I don't want to do that, then I switch it up, sell it, and go on to the next thing. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And I use a yacht as an example because, it's just something fun to, it's a little lavish. It's just a little lavish. But all up and down the East Coast is little port towns and these these yacht clubs and the wharf in DC. There's a ton of it's so many yachts parked up there coming in and out. I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal because the stuff is around you and you can see it with your eyes, so you know that it's possible. And let's use another example. For example, instead of getting so like, oh, what you can attain and what you can experience and what you're able to create in your mind. My mom and I were talking about it for years. She talked about an in-the-ground pool. And you can talk, and it sounds so like, wow, you could probably gotta have money, you probably gotta have all this stuff. When she broke it down, it came to like a small car payment, $200-$300 a month. So it's like, it doesn't have to be this big, vast, grandiose, super mystical, like so far away, so like, I could never, or how is that even possible type of thing. But if you believe, like I said, going back to my example, that you can create and get a free pumpkin loaf for breakfast, and save a couple dollars, and that money can go to something else. So like I said, you can save it, whatever you want to do, and you get lucky like that, and the world just opens up to you like that, then hey, why not? The sky is the limit. Shoot for the moon, land on the stars, or shoot for the stars and land on the moon. I don't know, I don't care, but you decide. But you decide, and then you have to believe it for yourself. And on that note, peace. Bye.